I'm built to win. Applied myself, I filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win. Yeah. Refuse. Mine, it can't be diffused. If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing by different rules. You can't see the vision, we living at different views. Until we complete the mission, keep getting up, never snooze. I walked a mile in my shoes, had the mind of a fool, chasing diamonds and jewels. Trust me, I was confused. Started minding my business and used my mind as a tool. Ended up finding my purpose and found the time to get to it. They told me I couldn't do it, they told me I couldn't make it. They sold it, could never break it. That's sadly mistaken. I need a piece of the pie, I want it so bad I can taste it. They told me like Toby, keep on running, toes they gon' take them. Refuse to lose, built to win. Apply myself, I filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss, I pay for the cost, I'm winning to win. Yeah. Refuse to lose, I'm built to win. Apply myself, I filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win. Yeah. Refuse.
Welcome everyone to another exciting episode of Unfazed with your boys JJ and Ajae, and boy, do we have a fun one for you all today, man. I'm excited for this one, Joe. I feel like it's been a little minute. It's a lot of topics we want to get to, a lot of hot topics, especially in the NBA. The MVP conversation is heating up. Wemby, SGA, we got to talk about that. I posed the interesting topic, who you would rather have in the playoffs for this specific playoff run, just this year. Luka, Wemby, or SGA. We're going to dive into that. And of course, we got some NFL topics to get to too. But before we get to all of that, JJ, Joe Jordan, I got to ask you, how you feeling today, man?
Hey, man, I'm excited. Another episode of Unfazed. I think it's going to be a battle today. And let's get it popping. I'm ready.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. A battle indeed, man. I'm excited, man. So without further ado, let's get to it, man. I know. Yeah. Did you have, by any chance, I didn't check with you off here. Did you have the clips loaded up of SGA and no? Okay. Well, both SGA and Wemby, they talking that talking away. Well, more so Wemby than SGA. SGA is kind of like, I'll let my numbers and my play and the tape do the talking for me. Wemby gave you a list of things like, hey man, this is what I do on offense. This is how I contribute on defense. This is what the head-to-heads. I mean, this is what it is. I should be the MVP. And now, if I'm not mistaken, Joe, Victor Wembanyama is number one on the MVP ballots, number one on the MVP ladder. He is the odds-on favorite. I don't know how big that margin is, but I know he's the odds-on favorite to win league MVP over your boy. What is it? Sega. Ain't that what you say? Ain't that your thing? So I gotta ask you, JJ, Joe Jordan, how you feel about that? Does he have a strong enough case over SGA, or does SGA still have the strongest case for league MVP this NBA season?
All right. First, I want to say this. I applaud Wemby for saying what he said. Some people didn't like that he's making the case for himself. Some people like it. Some people think that they only like it because it's Wemby. They giving him a pass. Like if it was any other superstar, that they wouldn't be giving him this grace, right? How I look at it is this. A lot of players would do this behind closed doors. Like if me and you would have knew SGA, or I'm not going to say SGA, let's say anybody personally, and be like, bro, you the MVP. Like, or, no, I think Wemby the MVP. They'll be like, but they'll make their case, you know? But people try to be humble, which I think is good. It's good to be humble, but not humble because they're just being humble because they feel like they don't want to get criticized for making a case for themselves. So let me say that. I'm going to give Wemby a shout out. I also love SGA's response. After he dropped this 47 piece, you know, his game winner that he did push off, but he went to OT and they won. And he said, I'm going to let my game, he said, thanks for asking, but I'm going to let my game do the talking. So I like this feud going into the end of the season. You got two teams who are fighting for the number one seed, and they are fighting. Like, they don't have to play all their guys against the Bulls or the injured Detroit Pistons, but they both did. After saying all that, Wemby Does he have a case? I think he has a case to win MVP. But he's not number one. I mean, how coincidentally he becomes number one after the game he makes a statement. Make it make sense. He just climbed over SGA after beating the Miami Heat. Are we serious? SGA right now. I know one thing that Wemby said. He said offense and defense. Defense is 50% of the battle, which I think is true. But he also said offense is not only scoring. Well, the object of the game is putting the ball in the hoop, AJ, last time I checked. And SGA is doing a really good job at that. But this is what I don't get. For a guy who's 7'4", who most of his points, not most, a lot of his points are off dunks and alley-oops and all that stuff. We're talking about a 7'4" player. How in the world does SGA have a higher field goal percentage than a 7'4" player? Average more points than him? Get a higher field goal percentage than him? And how about this? He averaged less turnovers than Wemby, playing more minutes as a guard. How does that even add up? So SGA, he's leading the scoring, and not just that, clutchness. Did you know that SGA is 17th in minutes played in a clutch, but yet is first in points? Come on now. And you know the team overall record, yeah, Wemby, you beat us 3-1. I get it. But guess what? Who's number one in the whole NBA for the back-to-back years? It's SGA and this team, Oklahoma City. So SGA has the numbers to back him up over Wemby. He has the standards to back him up over Wemby. And he got the clutchness. So I'm going to say SGA is still leading in my eyes. He should be leading. And you look on the betting sites, he's the odds-on favorite. But you look on the MVP key allowed by the NBA.com, Wemby's out of nowhere number one. So, and I like Wemby, so I don't want to make it seem like I'm just siding with SGA because I'm an SGA guy. And I'm a Wemby guy too, and I'm going to embrace that. I like Wemby a lot. I think Wemby is goal potential. But not this season. This season, he is not the MVP. It's Sega.
Gotta unmute myself. I respect it, and I understand where you're coming from. And like I said, I know how you are about you, but I know Wemby's your guy too. But I know you've been rocking with SGA for a while now. You know what I'm saying? So I respect the take, and I understand how some would say that SGA should be the league MVP this year. I mean, he's got the numbers, he's got the points, he's still getting assists, he's getting his teammates involved. But when I think about the phrase most valuable player, and I look and watch how the Spurs play, the impact of Wemby on the basketball floor. Wemby's impact is an impact the likes of something we have not seen before. Nobody, eye test wise, impacts the game more than Victor Wembanyama. When it comes to the defensive side of the ball, and I'd even argue when it comes to the offensive side of the ball. First off, the defensive side of the ball. We know Wemby's going to win Defensive Player of the Year. Yeah, that's already written in stone. That is what it is. He got over 16 games with 5 blocks plus, Joe. 16 games this season, swatting shots all over the place. So that means if you take it up on him, he's swatting it, right? If you get close to him, team players is going to hesitate. You don't want to take it up right away because, you know, Wemby's there. Wemby, when you watch Wemby play, he literally shuts down the paint. Don't even look to take shots in the paint. It's not happening. You might as well step back to that three-point line and step back to that mid-range shot because that's all you're going to get. So he shuts things down on that side of the ball. Offensively, I think, again, a lot of people focus on he's averaging like 24 points a game. But his impact on the offensive side of the ball, even without assists, is insane. You know, anytime Wemby is coming down court and he attacks the basket without the basketball, the entire defense is predicated on stopping him. They throw multiple bodies at Wemby to stop him from getting into the paint into a position where he could turn around and dunk. And so it frees up everyone else on the perimeter, most notably the corner three. They produce probably the most corner threes in the league right now. Because everybody's conversion on Wemby trying to tag, make sure he doesn't get an open layup or an open dunk in the paint. So the way they run their offense, the way he plays the game involves everyone, oftentimes without even him touching the basketball. It's similar in an awkward way to like a Steph or in some cases like a KD, where they move without the ball and they get so much attention moving without the ball that somebody else is running wide open for a trade. Somebody else is running wide open for a backdoor cut. So that is his impact on the offensive side of the ball, besides the offensive rebounds, right? And besides the points. Did you know Wemby, with him on the floor, mind you, play a ton of minutes as of now? I think that's going to be upticked in the playoffs because they're going to need him to play more minutes. Do you know this season with Wemby on the floor for the Spurs are a plus 645. Again, let's they are a plus, talking plus minus, plus 645 this season with Wemby on the floor. Without him on the floor this season, they are a minus 27. They are literally in position to potentially take the 1 seed from OKC, only 2.5 games back. They are in position as the number 2 seed solely because of Wemby's impact on both sides of the basketball. So when I look at Wemby and how he dominates on that on both sides of the ball, how he is able to elevate his teammates like, dare I say, a Magic Johnson without touching the basketball, without actually catching and facilitating to them, right? Or like a Steph, just being able to just, hey, we got to look for him wherever he is, and it's getting everyone else involved, getting everyone else open dunks and layups and stuff like that. Again, I think that is sensational and should be put into his case, which is why he says scoring and just putting the ball in the hole, scoring points is offense is more than that. How about what I'm able to do for my teammates? And last but not least, Joe, you glossed over it like it ain't nothing, but it's something. When he see OKC, it's sweet. It's sweet. They 3-1 versus OKC this year. 3-1. They got really no answer for Wemby, number 1. And number 2, even if you kind of got an answer for Wemby, like I said, he's freeing up everyone else on the offensive side. He makes the offense easier for everyone else, which allows them to exert even more energy on the defensive side of the ball to hold guys like SGA and Jalen Williams when he plays and things of that nature. So the way I'm looking at it, Joe, I get it, right? SGA, I understand if somebody said SGA was number 1, but I'm not mad at nobody saying Wemby's number 1 just off the sheer impact of his play on the floor. I mean, the Spurs are the Spurs because of Wemby. You can make that argument for SGA as well, but Wemby's ridiculous, man. So I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it. And the way he's starting to excel, if they can potentially get the 1 seed from OKC or tie him, I'm giving it to Wemby. I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying. I think you muted, or I can't hear you.
Okay. So does Wemby have a case? Yes. So we agreed that he has a case, but he's not number 1 as SGA. But we disagree right there. You think it's Wemby. Now look, I want to ask Ajae 2K, Ajae Birds, my boy Unfazed. Ajae, what changed? What changed? We had this combo before, Ajae. I ain't hear Wemby up there in your top 2. What changed? The Wemby we see now is the Wemby we see back then. It's funny you bring up the 3-1 stat versus OKC. I brought up the same stat with Detroit, and it didn't matter with JB. That's funny. And that's a good stat you brought up. So good, man. That's a good stat you brought up. 645 points plus minus. That's a good stat. He's second in the league, right? You know who number 1, right? SGA was 685 plus minus. So that was a great state throughout there, but SGA plus minus higher. But impact. It's funny because since when did we put MVP based only on impact? Because if that was the case, Steph Curry should have been a 16-time MVP. Because Steph Curry impact on the court is ridiculous when he's on and off, but he's an MVP candidate when he is because of his stats and his record. It's not because of no impact. If that was impact, LeBron should have won MVP every year. If it was on impact, MJ should have won MVP every year. But we don't do it based off impact. We do it based off your numbers, your wins, and storyline, like my boy AJ would say. You gotta have a story, right? So I don't think his numbers is good enough. I mean, the man is what? Not even top 10 in scoring. Defensively, he's lights out. Give him the defensive player of the year. But on the offensive side of the ball, he's not even top 10 in scoring. He's not even at 7'4". I don't even think he's top 5 in rebounding. So, assists, where is he? 3 a game? So he doesn't give enough statistically offensively for me to put him ahead of somebody like an SGA. And then on top of that, yeah, he beat him 3-1, but he don't have the number 1 game. Like, he's number 2 behind SGA in the standings. And they both missed games. That both of their teams are won 50% of their games without them. SGA team is 8-4 without him. The Spurs are 10-5 without Wemby. So we can't say, oh, when they got hurt, we can't do that because they both of their teams are basically equal record-wise without them on the floor. So his only case is his case. When nobody put him number 1 until he came on the podium and started talking. And then when he came on the podium and started talking, I was like, you know what? Draymond said it right. It's one time I agree with Draymond. Draymond came on the podium and they asked him, he said, it's funny because Wemby comes out and say defense is 50% of the battle. And then the media guys are like, wow, I think he's right. And then he plays the game, and next thing you know, he number 1 after playing the Miami Heat. Who is that? I mean, who Miami Heat? Bam about to leave. Bam fed up over there. He ain't beat no healthy Detroit. He ain't beat no OKC. He ain't beat no New York Knicks. He ain't beat no Boston. He beat the Miami Heat, and we gonna put him over SGA? Are we serious? After all the clutch games we seen with SGA against Denver, against Detroit, we saw last night. No, they hurt against the Knicks 2 nights ago. Come on, man. So give that man the MVP trophy back to back like on Jordan 93-97. Oh my bad. Back to back like on Jordan 26-27. Oh dang, we in 25-26. So get SGA the MVP trophy. Wemby, don't worry, Wemby, get him next year. Shout out to my boy Wayne.
So what changed for me is you brought this up last episode. Continued domination. And the more minutes he plays, the better he plays. What changed, Joe? I wish I could tally up these wins right now. How many wins they got in a row? How many games they didn't won back to back?
Well,
the Spurs have been okay. The Spurs are dominating. You also brought up the rebounds. He's top 5 in rebounds. He's number 5. You said he wasn't. He's number 5 in rebounds. So I just he just sit there. He just barely, but he's number 5. But I think the plus minus stat means something to me because he's not on the floor as much. So he's on the floor in limited times. You know, he 25 minutes here, 27 minutes there. Mm-hmm. You might get up to 30. You might get up to 31. And in that limited time that he's on the floor, they skyrocket to a level that's like, this team can win a championship. And then when he's off the floor, it's like, dang, they don't look nowhere near like the same team. Now, again, you can make a similar case for SGA because obviously SGA is a dominant player as well. And he's a player that dominates the basketball, right? So he's not a guy that's like going to do a ton of movement without, even though I'm sure he can. He's not the type of guy that's going to do a ton of movement off the ball. He's going to bring the ball up and he's going to initiate the offense. So, yes, the ball is in his hands more. And I applaud him for having less turnovers. This is not a let's crap on SGA thing. This is, for me, on more respect on Wemby and what he has done. I agree with you. If it was about impact, LeBron and all these guys should have more MVPs. I'm in the boat of you're right. They should. LeBron should have one MVP almost every year he was dominant. There's no way in this world Kobe should only have one MVP. Steph Curry should have more MVPs. And I always went back and forth with people about who won those years. I always said, I think LeBron deserved it the year over Harden when Harden won. Like, I think Kobe deserved, like I said, I think Kobe deserved MVPs. Nash won 1 year. I thought Shaq should have won. Like, that's been my MO. So I'm not changing in that regard. All I'm saying is what Wemby is able to do on both sides of the basketball, that impact on the floor, not only statistically, but eye test wise, nobody else is really truly affecting the game as much as he is. Now, some of this is sure size, right? The man is 7'5", and can get any steal, get to every block. And like I said, when on the offensive side of the ball, you got to throw multiple bodies at him to make sure he doesn't get a dominant, possession in the paint, a dominant touch in the paint to where he could just turn around and dunk on you. But he ain't the only guy that's been super big in the league, right? You got a guy like Porzingis. You had a Yao Ming. You had other guys that were as tall, or if not very tall, close to him, that wasn't as dominant as him and didn't dominate the game as much as he dominated the game. And so I get it. I understand, right? Wemby came out and said what he said. And the reason why he said what he said is because he felt like, y'all, first of all, I'm glad you asked, meaning Wemby. It's like, first of all, I'm glad y'all asked. Let me get to this because I feel like I'm not being talked about enough in this conversation. It's like when Damian Lillard wasn't an all-star multiple years and he finally got a chance to have his conversation about it. And it's like, yo, look at what I'm doing. Y'all not paying attention. So yeah, Wemby did the same thing. Look at how, okay, yeah, I'm giving you 24 a game and 11 to 12 rebounds, but watch the games. Look at why I'm averaging these amount of points. Look at how I'm getting these rebounds. Look at how I'm dominating defensively. Look at how I contribute to the offensive side of the ball. And then, like you said, it was the Heat. But they watched the game and they say, yo, he been doing this all year. I haven't seen anybody dominate like this. Not say nobody has dominated because SGA is dominant. But I haven't seen anyone dominate like this. This is just different when you turn the TV on. How he's able to just simply take over games. I really feel like the Spurs should take the reins off, take the handcuffs off, and let him play more minutes a game. Because I believe, personally, no disrespect to SGA, Luka, Jokic, anybody else that's in this conversation, if you gave him the opportunity to play 30 to 35 minutes a game routinely, I don't know if it will be a conversation, Joe. I really don't know if it will be a conversation. The only thing that pulls him back from getting that 30 a game is because he only playing, again, 28, 27 minutes a night. So I think it's remarkable that you getting 24, 25, 11 something, 3.5 blocks, these percentages and things like that in that amount of time and affecting the game the way he's affecting when it comes to the plus and minus with that amount of time on the floor. No other player has done it, I don't know, really in history, the way he's doing it. So I'm not, like I said, I'm not mad at SGA. If somebody say I'm putting SGA MVP, I'm not mad at it. But I ain't here to make the case for SGA today. I'm not. I leave that to my boy Joe Jordan. But I'm the Wemby guy today, man. At least for this topic, I'm the Wemby guy, man. I gotta rock with Wemby, man. What I see him do when I turn the TV on, it speaks for itself. Like SGA say, I'm gonna let my game speak for itself. Wemby, he didn't have to say it, but he said it and it helped. But when you watch Wemby play, it's ridiculous.
I'm with you. I'm just not going to discount him because he playing last minute. Like, look what he doing, and a little bit of. I'm sorry, that actually hurts him for not playing that much. So it hurts him if it's his decision. It's not like a Kawhi, like I'm choosing the low man. He wants to play. The coaching staff holding him back. Wait, sorry, my bad. I mean, talk to the coach. Now I'm with you. If he plays the same amount of minutes as an average superstar, Wemby is running away with MVP. Wemby has the case right now as the best player in the NBA right now. Like he does. We're just waiting to see what he does in the playoffs. But for real, like I'm with you on that. I just think my guy Griffey said it on the R12 show. He said, what MVP we know has been on the minute restriction. Like him being on the minute restriction is actually hurting his case. He needs to play more so he can have the stats. Like we can't look at him and say, but look what he doing with a little bit. I gotta compare what he doing. I never looked at MVP and said, but he played more minutes. I never did that before. Like now I'm gonna do it with Wemby. Like, no, there's some guys that play close to 40 minutes a game. I'm gonna say that hurt his case because this person playing 32 minutes a game. No, I'm gonna say I don't care how many minutes you play. What are you doing on the floor? That's how I look at it.
My thing is, since when is accomplishing a ton in a shorter period of time a bad thing, though?
But his overall numbers are not as good as SGA overall, but we're saying it is compared to his minutes. And I'm like, bro, when have we ever looked at minutes per game when it comes to like MVP?
I'm just saying, I get you from the number standpoint. I'm more so speaking on the impact standpoint.
I'm with you. I mean, he's 7'4", and he's both sides.
Yeah.
I am with you 100%. But based on the criteria, it has been, unless they switch something up, based on what we've been doing the criteria off of, because Jalen Brown, to my minutes, I mean, he playing a lot of minutes. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
SGA playing 33 per game. Wemby is 29. He playing 4 more minutes than SGA.
Well,
Wemby per game.
they hiked up as of late. It's been a little bit more as they
Both of
revving up
them.
for the playoffs.
Yeah,
So yeah.
both of them. They trying to get that number. They trying to.
They are.
Wemby knows he needs a number 1 seed to fully secure this MVP, and
sure.
so does SGA. That's why I like the battle. I like the fact that they are both trying to get it. We need more of that in the NBA. And Jaylen Brown, he just flew right in the dust. Like,
Yeah, he did. yeah, he did, man. Tatum came back. He was looking good. Then it was like, oh man. Yeah, we ain't even mentioning him in the show today. We gonna leave that alone.
But you had an interesting question that I'm curious to hear what you guys say about this. And it's a question about the playoffs. I mean, we got to go right into from SGA, Wemby, and we got to add your boy in there, Luka Doncic. So here's the question. The question is, which player would you rather have going into these playoffs between Luka Doncic, Victor Wembanyama, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander? AJ, the floor is yours.
Joe, they gonna call me crazy. They're going to call me crazy. I can see it now. They're gonna clip me up. They're gonna say this man tripping. How could he say something like this? I can see people from the R2L community. I can see people from the timeout or full timeout community. I can see everybody watching on Twitter and all the others, everywhere else. Facebook. I can see everybody just clipping me up. Like, I can't believe he said this. This guy don't know what he's talking about. Get this guy off the airwaves. But I'm going to say it. Give me Luka. Give me Luka Doncic. Now, I'm going to say this. Everything I just said about Wemby is 100% true. And for me, I might side with Wemby if I've seen him in the playoffs already. But I haven't yet. And in a conversation with a guy like Luka and a champion like SGA, I can't side with a guy who I have not seen in the playoffs one time yet. Now, Wemby could get into this playoffs and just, especially if he gets the, the coach get to revving up those minutes, he could get in there and Wemby could dominate. I'm extremely interested in seeing his first playoff run. Like, it's going to be must-see TV. But to me, this conversation just boils down to Luka and SGA. Now, I get it, Joe. I get it. SGA is a champion. And you know how I feel about champions before I continue. You know how I feel about champions. It's a certain level of respect that champions get. Finals MVPs sound like Super Bowl MVPs. They get certain levels of respect from me because that's hard to do. It's hard to do. So I respect SGA and everything that he accomplished. But when I look at Luka Doncic and how he has carried in previous years the Dallas Mavericks in playoff series, most notably once in the bubble against the Clippers before he got hurt, and then the year they went to the finals and played the Celtics in the NBA finals, Luka is arguably the scariest offensive player in the league. And he is an absolute dog that rises when the playoffs starts. That is undeniable. We understand he's a defensive liability, and we understand that he needs a certain team built around him, right? But when that structure is in place, we've seen what he can do. Even when it's not in place, we've seen him elevate under those lights. That playoff run he went on to get that team to the finals, right? People forget. Even though he got to the finals and he lost, he still gave you nearly 30 points a game, 9 rebounds, 6 assists, shooting 48% from the field. We talk about it like it was a bad finals. Anybody else put up those numbers in the NBA finals, we are talking about that finals performance like it's one of the best we've ever seen. But he ran up against the Celtics team that was stacked, that was supposed to win, in all honesty, that year. And he had a running mate in Kyrie Irving who just did not come to the party at the end of the day. If he comes to the party, it's a whole different conversation. It's a whole nother series. Even with Jaylen Brown giving him a hard time, Luka, again, he's still giving you 29, 8, 6 on 48% shooting from the field. So Luka was dominant. In that playoff run, Joe, they were the 6th seed. This was not a team that dominated all regular season. This was a team that barely escaped playing in the play-in and ran through the Western Conference, went through the Timberwolves, went through the Clippers. I forget what's the other. Oh, and beat OKC on their way to the NBA Finals, right? And so when I look at that, last year was a tough year. It's your first year out of Dallas, right? It's an emotional year. You get to LA. He had one game where he was sick. The chemistry wasn't where it needed to be with the Los Angeles Lakers. No excuse. He got bounced. It was what it was. But I think for Luka Doncic, that was an anomaly-like year. It was a weird year. We see how he is this year. I'm more confident in him going into this year. Now, you may have agreed with me up until this point, but this is where I'm going to shake the table just a little bit. Just a little bit in this conversation. Because while I respect sheer dominance in a comparison like this, because I know my boy JJ George Jordan, he not going to shock me with this. I know I don't want to take his take, but I know he going to go with Sega. I know that's where he got to go. That's what I would assume. I could be wrong. If he go with Wemby, it would throw me all the way off. But I assume he's gonna go with him. This is where I feel like we gonna disagree the most in this conversation. Besides the obvious, he's gonna go with the other side, and I'm gonna go with Luka. I look at SGA in them playoff run last year to the NBA Finals. There was not a single round because they dominated all season long where I looked at them and was like, they supposed to lose this series. Every single series. Now maybe this is they're a victim of their own dominance. It's not their fault that they dominated all year. I respect that. But there was not a single series where we looked at and said, they're not the favorite. There was a series where I said, I don't think they're going to win. And that was against the Denver Nuggets because of the Denver Nuggets experience and championship pedigree. And once they beat the Nuggets, it was a wrap. Like, I knew it was a wrap. We all knew it was a wrap. But there wasn't a single series where we looked at and said, OKC not supposed to win this series. They were supposed to beat Memphis. They ultimately were supposed to beat Denver. They were supposed to beat the Minnesota Timberwolves. And they dang sure, in my opinion, was supposed to smoke the Pacers. And that's no disrespect to the Pacers because we know they had a special one last season. But at no point did I say they supposed to win that series. I didn't look at them as a team that overcame anything but their experience. That's what they overcame. I don't think they overcame a team that was better than them or a team that was a higher seed. We got to be the 6 seed or the 5 seed and go take down the number 1 or have less games on the road. Every pivotal game that they needed, the game 7s and the game, you had those games at the crib because you earned that number 1 seed. So you were the favorite. In the case of Luka Doncic, that ain't been the case. And maybe this is he's a victim of y'all not as good in the regular season. So maybe it goes both ways. But that series against the Clippers, he was on their heels. He did not have, now granted, it's in the bubble, but he was on their heels. He did not have home court advantage. That series goes the complete opposite direction if he is healthy. That playoff run with the Dallas Mavericks, you're on the road versus the Clippers. You're on the road versus OKC. You're on the road versus the Minnesota Timberwolves. You're on the road in the finals. And at every turn, Luka losing his mind. Luka losing his mind. So the way I see it is I've now seen Luka rise to the occasion too many times. We all know he has his deficiencies. But when it comes to just at their best, if you tell me going into this playoffs that these guys are going to play at their best, maybe you didn't go with Wemby because Wemby the obvious sure size. But if you take Wemby out of it because we haven't seen it, you just say SGA and Luka at their best. They're going to play at their absolute best. I'm going to rock with Luka. I'm going to rock with Luka Doncic because of how much of a dominant offensive player he is. And given what we've seen over the last X amount of years since he's been in the National Basketball Association.
Got me over here laughing. All right. My man said, at their best. I'm taking a look at it. That was funny, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
But you know. But I get
you're right, man. You do know, you know about champions. You know, you got a Super MVP over there. It's hard to win a championship. I get it. It's hard to throw 2 picks in a flat football game too. But that's another story, man. But all right, I'm gonna give you my order.
Okay.
All right, for who I would take to. So are we talking? We're not talking based on their situation. We're just talking about player for player for player.
Player for player.
Don't want the right team. Who I want.
Player for player. This year.
This year, I got you.
Mhm.
Number one, I'm going with Wemby.
Oh.
I'm going with Victor Wembanyama. I don't care if I didn't see him play in the playoffs. You know why?
I'm shook.
Wemby already told me what he is. He has the mentality of a GOAT. I told you. The fact I saw him reading in the All-Star game in the locker room and they was laughing at him, I'm like, y'all tripping. He on a different level just because he's reading. He said he read before every game. That's right there is a big plus. Also, he played hard in the All-Star game. He raised his level of competition when they played the big dogs. They beat Detroit. They lost in New York once, but they beat New York the other time. They beat the brace of OKC. They beat Denver with Victor Wembanyama. They beat the good teams. So, and Wemby is 7'4". I'm sorry. I mean, when you playing with Wemby, the guards can be ultra aggressive because they know if you blow past me, you gotta deal with him. You got him behind me. Like I got. When you know you got somebody, when you playing defense on the football team, and you on the D line, you like, man, and I got the best defensive backs behind me. I'm pinning my head. I'm going at the quarterback. Cause I ain't tripping. Cause I know you ain't got you. Look, you got people ain't getting open quick. I got all the time in the world to get to the quarterbacks. I ain't tripping because I got these DBs behind me. That's how it is with me. I'm gonna be ultra aggressive trying to get the ball because I got Wemby behind me. But Wemby is number one. Number two, come on, you said it. Luka. Yes, sir. Wow. I am going with Luka Doncic. Come on, man. SGA is my guy. But let's be real. You put Luka on OKC last year, they won the championship. Luka is him. When it comes to basketball, he is that guy. He always been in circumstances when he was not the favorite, like you said. Go back to the bubble, like you said. It's a different series if Morris Twin don't step on his ankle. What about the year after that? When they played the Clippers again, he was going at their necks.
Again, yep.
Come on now. Like, and that Clippers team was good. Like, we talking about a really good Clippers team. Like, we look at roster for roster. They had no business of being in that series. Well, sorry, not the year after that. It was 2 years after that. The year after that was when Kawhi got hurt. But matter of fact, I'm tripping. The year after the bubble, people forgot what he did in Phoenix. Come on, man.
Yes.
I mean, we talking about he had the same amount of points in Game 7 on the road as Phoenix, and he ended it by putting Boy on the floor in the. Come on, man.
In the first half.
Mikal Bridges was second in MVP and Defensive Player of the Year that year. He was dogging him. He was a baby. And then he played the Clippers, and he take them to the brink, and Kawhi just went crazy. Kawhi dropped like 47 on 72% shooting. It was crazy. Game 7, I think Luka dropped 40, and they still lost.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go to the Mavericks. Soon you get on some help. You get on Kyrie Irving, he gets to the NBA Finals just like that. And like you said, they should like they weren't gonna beat the Celtics, bro. I remember being on the show and I said, I don't know if we were doing this, but I remember being on one of the shows and I said, the Celtics, they're gonna win, man. Like they're gonna win. Like it's no way Luka and them gonna win this game, win this series. I'm going Luka, man. He just a dog in the playoffs. Now, last year was the only time you can say like Luka underperformed. Mm-hmm. That's the only time. But I put a lot on JJ Redick too. JJ Redick did a terrible job coaching that series. But and our roster just wouldn't. It was a weird year for the Lakers. He came mid through to the season. It was weird. But anyways, and then third, I'm going SGA. And this is no knock on SGA. I just think the other two guys are better than SGA. Like SGA do have a really good team around them. Like I mean, we talking about defenders all over the place. You look at his playoff run. His playoff run was an all-world. He had good moments. Like, I think it was game 5 or game 4 against Minnesota. Yeah. That was a big game because they had just got blown out. And you about to on verge to tie it up. And he had a Kobe-esque game that game. I'm not going to lie. Like, he was really good that game. But in the Pacers series, he didn't really have that signature game. You know what I mean? Like Tyrese Halliburton goes down. They go 7 games with the Pacers. Like, are we serious? You know what I mean? Like, do I think Luka in that situation would go 7 games with them? I mean, they defensively wasn't that. They weren't the best defensive team. Luka would have put Luka would have the work on them boys, but they wouldn't want to work on Luka on the defense side of the ball too.
That's true.
And the reason why
they got up and down the court a lot too.
They did. Yeah. The reason why I'm putting Wemby over Luka is because Luka, yes, although I thought that they were going to lose to the Celtics, but Luka got exposed defensively. You're not exposing Wemby at all. What are you doing? How can you expose Wemby? You tell me. Like, what are you going to do? We got to be physical with him. Wemby embraced that. Yeah, he's small now, but Wemby is like, he sees it, okay, and then he adjusts the next time he sees you. That's like perfect for the playoffs. I think he's going to be so dangerous in the playoffs. And listen, man, OKC good, but we're going to have to make them picks. I don't know. The Spurs, I feel like the Spurs are like a legitimate winning all this year.
Oh, yeah,
and if
sure.
Wemby wins MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, Finals MVP, and Finals champion this year, in his 3rd year, in his first full season, Kendrick Perkins is right. In a few years, we're going to be saying Jordan, Wemby, and LeBron.
Which will be crazy. And honestly, like I said, he got to keep it up. But it would be hard to deny. Listen, the thing about Wemby, though, I'm saying this, and it's crazy for me to say out loud, but it's out of respect for the greatness I already see when I make this comparison.
Okay.
The reason why I can't put Wemby even over SGA and not over Luka, who I have at number 1, is like I said, the experience level. Going into the postseason, at one point in time, there was no answer for LeBron James. Those early Cleveland years, Bron was dominant. Bron was the guy. Especially, one could say he couldn't shoot well, but when he got it going, he had it going, and there was no answer for LeBron. But at the end of the day, come postseason time, there were moments where he just wasn't ready. And you couldn't anticipate that in the regular season because of what we saw from LeBron in the regular season. You couldn't anticipate him not being ready for the moment at times because Bron was dominant in the postseason. Let's take it a step further than that. Michael Jordan. You might not like this, but my stance is the same with MJ. Not to say MJ was not ready for the moment. Yeah. MJ wasn't ready for that Pistons physicality at one point in time in his career. That physicality was different. They are grabbing him and slamming him to the floor. Jordan rules. And his game slowly started to not fall off a little bit, but you saw his numbers start to dip a little bit the more they got physical, and it affected him and the rest of the team. Not to say Jordan wasn't ready for the moment, but at that time, you could make the argument. I mean, who would I rather have in the playoffs? I might take IT, or I might take Bird, or I might take, just at that moment in time, it was a little too early. Obviously, when Jordan started to get stronger and things of that nature, it was like, yeah, Jordan's smoking all of these guys. And you'd make the argument, Jordan is the best player in the league, even at those times. But come postseason time, it's hard to make that argument when teams have figured out a way to stop him in ways where we haven't quite seen at this stage in their careers with Bird or with Magic or even a guy like IT just at that time in their careers, because those guys are more established, had more experience in playoffs, and had time to work out their deficiencies, had time to work out being ready for the moment. Same thing with LeBron. Later on, he won in Miami, and then it was like, all right, he really ain't got no weakness because now the shot has gotten better, and he's ready for the moment. With SGA, he's already shown, even though his role, and I won't say his role was sweet because I don't want to diminish his role, but just in comparison to, like I said, Luka, his role wasn't the toughest because they had such a dominant regular season, but he still showed, displayed, I'm ready for the moment. Not only did he have that moment against the Timberwolves, he had the moment game 4 against Denver. He also had that. He also had, if we're being honest, he had a moment like that against the Pacers where he sealed them. I believe it was game 4 to tie the series up 2-2 as well with the step back. Yeah, he did a little push off and stumbled, looked like a travel, but he stepped back into that mid-range shot over on the left wing. And so he's shown us those moments already where it's like, I can be that guy. When we get into the playoffs, you have no doubts about SGA in the moment. You just know it's gonna happen. Luka, you already just mentioned all the moments Luka has been Luka, because we've now seen it. And even on the biggest stage against a team he was clearly outmatched against, Luka, even though he struggled with Jaylen Brown, was still Luka Doncic. We just haven't seen it yet from Wemby. And it's hard for me to say I'm going to take Wemby in the playoffs over guys that we have simply seen perform at the highest level. It's like Drake May. Who would have thought Drake May would have gotten to the playoffs and looked like giving us the worst playoff performances from a quarterback bruh. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
I didn't expect that. The entire playoff run, he was awful. He made one play here or there. Outside of that, he was awful. Most people did not expect this. This is a second team All-Pro. This is a guy that was second in the running for MVP and was a voter 2 away from winning MVP. And he got to the playoffs and looked horrible. Awful. And so that's why I say, as great as Wemby, as dominant as Wemby is, I got to see him in at least 1 or 2 playoff series where a team is like, all right, we have an opportunity to sit down and study what makes the Spurs great. We have an opportunity to sit down and study what makes Wemby great. How can we devise a plan that makes Wemby, that slows Wemby down and that slows the Spurs down? And until I see that, the way I've seen it against SGA and seen it against Luka, I can't give him the nod. Even though I admit, if Wemby shows up and looks like regular season Wemby in the playoffs and elevates for more minutes, it's probably not a conversation because he's just that dominant. He's that big and that dominant.
See, I like how you okay. So LeBron, Jordan, two GOAT material guys. Drake May, I give you an example, but get him out of here, man. Get him out of here. He doesn't even he doesn't even the GOAT. I mean, come on, man. Can you at least be the GOAT?
Okay.
But anyways,
fair.
But cause I know a guy that didn't shrink in the playoffs. That's a whole different conversation. But Wemby is GOAT material.
Yeah.
All right. Jordan couldn't win a playoff game before Scotty got there. But let's get to the Pistons, like you said.
Yeah.
He couldn't get past the Pistons. Yeah, he could have got bigger. But like the Pistons team was better. We're saying take these players out and put them in an ideal situation. Give me Jordan and put him in an ideal situation, or he's beating Pistons. He's beating the bad boy Pistons. But so LeBron James, a little different. He kind of had the Spurs kind of exposed his weakness. Like he averaged 20 a game against them. He didn't really do good against them. But I get your point though with LeBron. We're talking about Wemby. You put and we're comparing him to Luka, who's really good in the play. I get you, and SGA. We're not comparing him to a Jordan or LeBron. Now, don't get me wrong. Luka is like and SGA. I ain't gonna lie, both of them can be that like that.
Yeah.
So I get it. I only am jumping on a leap of faith with Wemby because what I see from his headspace, man, it's rare. It's rare. He's one of them guys, and he embraced, like he's in the media talking, like he's so confident. And I think it's easier to be confident when you the biggest dude out there. Like seriously,
yeah.
When you 7'4", bro, and you know you could block anybody, nobody gonna shoot in your like mentally. These are little boys to you mentally.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and on this run they're on right now, I like that's why I'm so curious to see how he's gonna look in the playoffs. I really believe he's gonna go to a different level. I think a 7-game series actually helps him because, like you said, they're gonna study the Spurs. Yes, that's true. And guess what's gonna be doing studying? Wemby.
That's fair.
Wemby learning your tendency. You know how hard it is gonna be able to score on these people because of Wemby. I'm telling you, like what the Spurs do, Wemby switch off everything. So, like, he just keep himself around the paint. So, they might figure something out when they bring 5 out. I don't know. They're going to do something like that, right? Yeah. We're going to see something. But he's going to be able to adapt to it. So, I'm taking a leap of faith on Wemby because what he has up here and the man is 7'4", and he's just arguably the best player in the league. So I'm gonna go with Wemby. If we put them in an ideal situation, now we put them where they at, Luka third. You know what I mean? He third, Luka third, and SGA might be number one because, like you said, the experience with the whole team and stuff like that. But we talking about player for player. I'm sorry, SGA, you my dog. Luka, you my dog too. But Wemby, your dog.
Wemby is, like I said, Wemby is a dog. And I only brought up those players, those GOAT level players, with the exception of Drake May, just to say, like, those players were different in the postseason, or different in the regular season, and different in the playoffs too. But there were things that, come playoff time, they weren't quite ready for. That's all I'm getting at. Like, no slight at MJ or.
Though.
But see, and I don't want to dive too deep back into the Jordan conversation or even the LeBron conversation, because you can make that argument, but you can also make the argument that they both had moments where they just didn't perform to their best. But in one case, it was they just didn't seem ready for the moment, and in another case, it was the physicality. Like I think the physic and see,
like we come to experience. I think it's more so the team than the player to me. Like it depends. Like when we talking about like Michael Jordan, bro. Like the man dropped 63 and still took it out.
And like I said, Jordan, and again, no slight at MJ. Mm-hmm. I do feel like him, and let's just say him and the team. Let's just say the team, because Pippen wasn't ready for the physical.
Pippen wasn't ready.
He wasn't ready for that physicality either. They beat the Bulls up literally on the court. But like I said, it's no slight at MJ because they went, in my opinion, kind of outside the rules in a way. Like we just gonna slam him to the floor. Like he was not ready for that. They tried to do the same thing later on, but Jordan was ready for it this time, and he made sure Pippen and the team was ready. Now we know what y'all gonna do. We gonna get in the gym. We gonna get bigger. We gonna get stronger. We gonna get faster. Y'all gonna try this again, but it's not gonna work. I'm gonna throw my body around a little bit more. I'm gonna throw my weight around a little bit more. I'm ready for that. But he had to go through those growing pains.
I'm with you on that.
That's all I'm saying. He had to get through that. And LeBron just had to just showcase he was ready for he got to the finals with the Heat and just wasn't ready. Yeah, he just wasn't ready. And it's like, yo, what is going on? So that's what I'm saying when I hate to do this because listen, and I don't wish that on Wemby. I want, full disclosure, I want Wemby to be dominant. I want him to do his thing. And I think he will, but I'm just saying in a conversation with guys, and we're not comparing him to those two, to LeBron and Jordan. We are comparing him to Luka and SGA. But SGA is a champion, and Luka, I mean, we see what Luka has done when the lights were at its brightest. I think we will see the true test for the Spurs in that second round. Hopefully, when they play the Lakers, the Lakers don't really have the matchup for Wemby. But I love what I'm seeing JJ start to do. I love how JJ, and then you got LeBron, who's obviously a savant, who is basketball IQ is off the charts, and then you got a guy like Luka looking at you out of that, maybe not literally eye to eye, but offensively, that, you know what I mean? And so I think then we will see, like, all right, is Wemby legit ready to take? Because the Lakers going to throw the kitchen sink at him.
I think Wemby will. The question is with the Spurs.
With everybody else,
They got young, but this playoffs, man, we could potentially get a Nuggets, OKC second round, Lakers, and Cavs and Pistons and Knicks and Celtics. Oh man,
it's looking nasty. It's looking nasty. But let's transition over to the NFL, Joe. Let's transition over there real quick, and we're gonna talk about a team that I love to make fun of. I can't help it, Joe. I love to make fun of the Dallas Cowboys. I always got to say the name of the Cowboys like that. The Dallas Cowboys. Because, boy, they make me smile all the time. Okay, I'm not going to lie. As stacked as that team can be at times, as much talent as they can have, Jerry Jones always just find a way to make news, to be in the media. And now they are saying, because obviously they are putting the franchise tag, they have put the franchise tag on George Pickens. They don't really know if George Pickens is going to report to OTAs or not, if he's going to show up to play or not. They have no idea. all intents and purposes, for all intents and purposes, I think that he wants to be there, but they don't know if he gonna show up or not. It don't seem like it's been many conversations being had back and forth on what he plans to do. So I gotta ask you, Joe, if you were George Pickens, would you show up to OTAs? Would you give him the advice to, hey, show up and just do your thing and ball out? Or would you say, nah, man, sit out and make sure you get that money. Make sure you're healthy and you get that money.
See, the volunteer OTAs is volunteer. Do you?
Mm-hmm.
But the mandatory ones, I'm going to say, yeah, show up.
Mm.
Because I've been through it personally, man, my team. You see Brandon Ayuk goes out there, he don't show up. He gets his contract, he gets hurt. You see Terry McLaurin, don't show up. He gets his contract, he gets hurt. Jamar Chase, he didn't show up to all of them, but I think he ended up showing up. But look at Jamar Chase, he played under his contract, and he almost broke the record. He had a career year. So my thing is, and also George Pickens, he only been there for 1 year, AJ. 1 year. So like I get it, you want to get your bag, but do you want to risk that? Like my thing is, and then I look at his resume. Every year of his career, he only missed 3. He played 4 years. 4 years, he missed 3 games. That's it in 4 years. So he's real durable player. So I'm not gonna worry about him like risking injury trying to play. And like you coming into a season where the Cowboys actually got some hope to do something. So why would now I get what Michael Parsons did and all that stuff, but that's a whole different situation. Michael Parsons got drafted by the Cowboys, drafted there, and they had multiple conversations, and that just spiraled left. But George Pickens, him and CeeDee Lamb got a great rapport. Him and Dak got a good rapport. And Jerry Jones did come out today and said that they plan on they have a long-term plan for George Pickens. That's what they said. All right. And look at your fellow quarterback, Dak. Dak played on a franchise tag, and he ended up getting his bag. I would if George Pickens play, he's going to turn up. And I would say if you go into this next year and they still playing with you, then I think he has every right to sit out because he has proven himself. But right now, just play, man. Just play.
Yeah, I thought about this long and hard while I was working because we came up with this topic. This topic came across my screen and then I hit you with it. And I thought about it long and hard. And honestly, I'm kind of with you on this, surprisingly. Because my initial thought is nah, he shouldn't play. Because he deserved to get paid after what he just did last season. I mean, he was dominating for the Cowboys last season. He was the best receiver on the field last season. And some people say he was better than CD. And before the season started, some people say he was better than CD, talent-wise and all this stuff. And I'm like, y'all crazy. We talking about CD Lamb right now. I'm not trying to hear that. But this season, he looked like the number one receiver out there playing alongside CD Lamb, right? He looked like 1A out there a lot of times. And so I was kind of on that side of the fence. But after thinking about the Cowboys, I think, again, I've said this on a previous episode. There's a misconception out there about Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones, yeah, he do the franchise tagging. And yeah, he like to be in the media. And yeah, sometimes he do a lot. But Jerry Jones pays his guys. He paid Zeke. He paid Dak. He paid Dez. He paid Witten back when Witten was playing. He's paid CD. He paid Trayvon Diggs, right? The only thing that got petty recently was the Michael Parsons situation. And that's way deeper than any of those other situations just mentioned. That seemed like it got real personal and honestly petty, right? But at the end of the day, everyone else got paid. They might have to wait, but at the end of the day, as much as Jerry Jones does that, it hurts him more than it hurts the player. Because oftentimes, the player doesn't get hurt. There are times where a player does get hurt in other situations. But a lot of times the player doesn't get hurt. They come out, they have a dominant season, a la Dak, and then the price jumps. Now you got to pay me more. You could have paid me this past season before my contract expired, but now you got to pay me more. Now Dak is the highest paid quarterback in the league, and all these guys that got contract extensions still ain't surpassed the contract Dak got. So if I'm George Pickens, I'm looking at this situation like, Number one, I'm thinking about everything I just mentioned. Because I know Pickens wants to be in Dallas. He wants to play for the Dallas Cowboys. You're playing with the best quarterback you have played with ever, arguably, right? So you know you're going to get your targets. You're going to get your opportunities within the offense. You're playing for an owner who plays a lot of games. He does what he does, right? But you know if you continue the ball, he's going to pay you. You know it's bound to happen. You know once you – I feel like Jerry Jones the type of guy, if you develop a relationship with him and a good relationship with him, and you just go play ball and just do your thing, he gonna make sure you pay. And he probably gonna pay you like you the top dog in the league. Like, that's just how Jerry Jones operates. The key, obviously, is staying healthy. But you could get hurt on any play at any time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You could get paid. You could get the money and get hurt. And I know that insurance is there if you get hurt and whatnot. But you playing football. If you going out there thinking about getting hurt, then you hurt before you get out there, basically. Mm-hmm. So the way I see it is, George Pickens is, again, playing for the best quarterback he's ever played with. Like you said, the NFC East didn't get much better this offseason, in my personal opinion, so far. The Eagles lost pivotal pieces. The Commanders have added pieces, but to me, nothing that's like, wow, they're light years better than Dallas. What it comes down to for the Commanders is Terry and his JD5 healthy. If they're healthy, then that's what they're gonna be back in the running, right? And then you got the Giants. The Giants did add some pieces, but the Cowboys are looking at the Giants like the Giants are better than them. They still the team at the bottom of the division. That's how most teams are looking at them in that division until they're able to prove that they're the best. So if you George Pickens, you're like, look. If this defense gets marginally better, if it could be mid, if it could just be mid, we got a chance to not only win our division, but make a run if I continue to play the way I played last season and maybe even take it up a notch. So I think it's not a no-brainer, because I don't want to say it's a no-brainer decision, but I think it's a smart decision for him to just take the franchise tag, show up to the mandatory OTAs, and ball out this season, knowing that, like, yo, barring catastrophic injury, you're gonna get paid. And it's the franchise tag, it ain't crazy, but I think it's like $28 million, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, you getting paid.
Like, you still getting paid. It's a nice pay bump from what you was just getting paid.
Right.
So it's not like you're taking a crazy bad discount, or you getting paid less than what you was getting paid last year. You still getting a crazy raise. So if I'm him, all right, I'll play this year. But again, I would make sure I have a conversation with Jerry Jones once y'all get that relationship to where it needs to be. Look, Jerry, I'm going to do my thing this year, but I'm going to need that. And I think Jerry's the type of guy that's like, all right, if you go out there and you play and you allow me to be Jerry, allow me to get the fans and everybody riled up about you getting a contract, allow Jerry to be Jerry, like Dak did, and you just go do your thing, Jerry going to get you that money. I think barring something catastrophic, even if he has some knick-knack injuries and he misses some games, Jerry's still going to pay him, in my personal opinion. I think it would take a lot for Jerry to not pay him. So I think he should play.
I think he's going to pay him before the season starts.
You think so?
I think they're going to come up with a contract, bro. I just think so. If not, like you said, Jerry will pay him. That's what Jerry does. He take care of his. One thing he does is take care of his players.
Yeah.
Like the Michael situation got petty. It got personal. And that's the only reason why he got traded. Because Michael said this and Jerry said this and somebody's lying and it blew up. He got mad at the agent. So they got the same agent though.
Yeah. That's why Dak, I didn't necessarily like Dak coming out and just being like, hey, I mean, I did it. You should do it. I wouldn't like that. Like, all right, Dak, bro, you ain't have to say it. You ain't have to say all that.
It's his business.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, Dak could go, like, the quarterback position is different than the receiver position. Like, Dak can tear his ACL or something bad could happen to the legs, and Dak could still be Dak out there as long as he,
that's
goes
what
to
happened
rehab
though.
and stuff. Yeah, exactly.
I think he was playing on the franchise tag when he got hurt.
Mm-hmm. And still got a bag because Dak is still Dak. Dak is still Dak. So it's just like, it's a little different for a receiver. Like, they tear something, that road to recovery, getting that speed, that agility, that quickness, that lateral movement. It's a little harder to get that back. So I wouldn't have liked that. But I do get it. Like, yo, we got arguably the most, if not the best, the second best, probably behind the Rams last season. Most prolific offense in the game, bruh. Like, let's try to go. Now, you know they not going to win nothing. You know it's not going to happen. But if you're him, if you're Pickens, you got to think like that, right? You got to at least be like, yo, we can really do it. You know what I mean? Me and you know it ain't going to happen, right? As Eagles and Commanders fans, we've been down this road before. I mean, they did have Amari Cooper and CD Lamb at one point. I mean, like they had CD, or they had Zeke and Dez and Jason Witten, and they had all these guys before. It just ain't work out. T.O. Ain't nothing much going to change for real, right? But if you Pickens, right, you thinking you could be the change. You know what I mean? So, hey. I say go ahead, give it a try. Give it a try.
Facts. We'll see.
I just know my boy Reek Willem finna this year. That's what I do know.
Man, I need to talk about receivers getting off injury and trying to get back. I just hope my boy BA is healthy, man. He gonna be a man soon. Yeah, I actually like that BA and Terry on.
It'd be nasty if he keep his head on straight and be there. It could be nasty.
He got no choice. He playing with his boy, and then I think we gonna get Jeremiah Love if he there. AJ.
That'd be nice too.
I think we gonna get him, bro. We get him.
Nasty. That'd be nasty.
Yeah, I got Saquon. You know what I mean? That's cool. Like they got KD, but we got Jaden McDaniels. Hey, we got Jeremiah Love. We got Jeremiah Love.
I feel that.
All right, man. Hey, great show like always. You know,
yes, sir.
Late night show. My phone is dead, but when I'm at is it is midnight.
Yeah. Oh.
No, I'm tripping.
No, it's 11:11. 11:11. Where you at? Yeah. I'm like, whoa. Hold on, let me check that time again. Goodness gracious.
It's 11:11. I for some reason I'm thinking we started at 11. But it's 11:11. But great episode. Shout out to the whole R2L network. Shout out to the whole R2L family. Shout out to everybody on AJ's channel. Timeout. I know you're gonna talk about it, but make sure you gotta tune in to AJ Birds. He just put out another episode and some shorts and stuff. Make sure you gotta check it out. Shout out to everybody in the comment section. We appreciate y'all feedback. You know, a lot of y'all sound like a bunch of SGA fans in the comment section. We appreciate y'all. And all I gotta say is my Nats, we lost. You know, AJ, I've been locked in with baseball, bro. But for some reason, I've been watching a lot of baseball. The Nats lost today, but which is cool. They 3-2 right now. Gotta play Phillies again to end the series. What else? I picked Michigan on my bracket. You know, right now I'm the only one standing in the bracket. Everybody else picked Duke, and then Duke lost. So thank God. I had Duke winning the game, but I needed Duke to lose for the sake of the bracket challenge. And that's that. And Commanders, sign BA. Jeremiah Love, do what you gotta do on the draft. But yeah, man, I'm excited about this season. They talking my boy Dan Quinn saying my boy JD5 gonna bounce back. But that's all I got for y'all.
Yeah, man. For me, shout out to everybody that tuned in. From my channel, Timeout or Full Timeout, from the R12 channel. Shout out to my boy JJ Joe Jordan for another great episode. I knew this was going to be a fun one, bro. I knew it was going to be a fun one. And I definitely had fun with it. Threw me for a loop with the Wemby one, though. I was like, oh, okay. He went somewhere different. So I got to applaud
when you say I know where you're going, you going to go and say, go? Like, dang, I got to say the third. I don't think he knows.
And you did put your head down like, I don't know. But respect to that. It's just, you just never know. I like to try to predict where my guy Joe Jordan gonna go, but you just never know. I mean, the man, you can't predict where he gonna go with it, man. Just got to be prepared for whatever, man. So, shout out to Joe, man. Iron sharpens iron, man. So, shout out to you, man. Shout out to everybody that's watching. Duke, this is the second year straight where y'all have cost me. Like. Just hang on to the ball. I didn't see the game live. I had to catch it after I got off work. I got on Instagram, Joe. Quick little story time before we get off. I got on Instagram and I seen the turnover and bro shoot the ball from half court. A Dame Lillard 3, logo 3 and make it. And for whatever reason, it didn't register in my head what was happening because I was working. I was multitasking. I just happened to just take a quick little moment and check my phone. And I'm looking at it and I'm thinking it's like a video from years ago. Like,
Yeah.
dang, like that's crazy. Like it happened like that. That's wild. And then it dawned on me. I'm like, wait, hold on, is that Boozer? I noticed the Boozer. And I look and I check some other sources and I'm like, yo, this is how they lost. And I go back and I watch the game and see you boys was up 19. This is the second time they have sold me. I may never pick Duke again. I may never pick Duke. I got to that point with Gonzaga. They always got to like the Final Four, the national championship game, and they sold me every time. And now I'm getting to that point with Duke where I don't care if y'all get Jason Tatum and Grant Hill and all these other guys to come play for Duke back in the, I may not never pick y'all again. I just don't know if I have it in me. I don't care if JJ put on the jersey again. JJ was one of my favorite Duke players ever, by the way. But I don't care if JJ put the jersey back on and get the sniping stuff. I may not never pick y'all again because I just don't know what to say at this point. And at this point, I guess I'm rooting for UConn. Go UConn, because I'd rather the team that beat my team, I hope y'all go win it. And if y'all don't, I'm going to be salty. Let's put it like that. Everybody, check out Ajae's Birds, man. I got something coming out for y'all every week. I got another reel I'm going to post probably early tomorrow talking about the addition of Hollywood Brown. You know what I mean? So we're going to talk about that a little bit, man. I got some more exciting stuff coming for y'all this week, man. So y'all stay tuned to AJ's Birds, my Eagles fans, man. We got a lot to talk about. I know the owners had a meeting. All the owners was talking. You know that AJ Brown is a member of the Philadelphia Eagles. All this other stuff. I mean, we're going to get to all that. We're going to get to all that, man. So y'all make sure y'all stay tuned for that, man. And Lakers, if everybody at their best, give me Luka. That's all I'm saying. Everybody at their best, give me the Luka Doncic, man. I'm starting to transition. We gearing up for the playoffs. The Lakers look good. They looking good. They making me delusional. Luka is making me delusional. And I'm feeling good, man. Joe, the Lakers, oddly enough, Joe, they got me feeling unfazed.
Unfazed. Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all in the next episode.